Alright, what's up everybody? We are on episode 16 of Attack on Titan. Last episode was, all about kind of the Titan experiments, right? Hanji's character got to play a much bigger role and, there was something there at the very end of the episode that I didn't even, I think, really address last time around. But of course, it ended actually in a really kind of weird way where, the two Titans that she'd been taking care of obviously got killed. We saw the bones of those Titans still there, the bone structure or whatever. And all of a sudden, Erwin kind of came up to Eren, right? And he's like, what do you think the enemy is? And yeah, I watched back that part a couple of times, and I still don't really know what to make of it. Obviously, once again, I assume they're teasing something there. We have to find out, what... Like, the fact that he said what instead of who, makes me think like, okay, what is he actually referring to then? Did these what did these Titans even get killed by? At first, I thought I'd have to assume it was somebody in the group that had, killed them for some reason. Now I'm thinking like, okay, did it have to do with something else, right? So, yeah, once again, it's super unclear. I would love to speculate about it and come up with things, but I find it almost too difficult. You know what I mean? And yeah, again, like we'll just have to kind of wait and see. For now, once again, this is kind of the start of the second half of this season, right? And so all these episodes definitely seem to be building up to more stuff that is going to be very interesting to watch unfold. So I just kind of want to dive in. By the way, there's two more quick things that I wanted to address. The very first thing is, and this is something I've been meaning to talk about almost from the beginning that I started this series, which is that some of you have been pointing out how the subtitles are kind of like an inferior version that you see here in the YouTube videos. Because of course I am watching the series in Japanese and dubbed the way I think it's, from what I heard, it's kind of the way it should be watched, right? And I want to watch it the way it's meant to be watched. So, yeah, I like doing it that way. But again, it seems like depending on the platform you kind of watch the show on, you can get different versions of the subtitles and some aren't as good as others. I've been meaning to say that, if you've been thinking that I myself have been watching the inferior version because, of course, that's kind of the version that's been shown here on the YouTube reaction videos, that's not the case. I myself have been watching the show on Crunchyroll, and there was already this kind of weird disparity where I myself in front of me had different subtitles than what we actually used for these videos. And yes, that's kind of weird and I probably shouldn't go too much into that. But the versions we've been using for these videos are actually different from the ones that I myself have been watching. So I should have been watching this all along with the right subtitles, just for the people that have been wondering about that. And from here on out, I'm gonna try and actually fix that. So you will get the correct subtitles for the people that have been asking about that. I understand that there's a lot of kind of purists, right? And I totally understand that because I myself am the same way for the stuff that I love, If I watch somebody, watch Lord of the Rings for the first time and it's not the extended edition, I'm gonna get crazy. It's like, it's the same way. So I totally understand, but once again, don't be, well, again, I have been watching them the correct way. Don't be worried about that. I'm just going to make sure that now we show the right versions as well on these YouTube videos. And then the second thing, which is awesome, is that, of course, it should be November now, November 1st, so a new month is starting. And from here on out, I'm going to be able to have 5 episodes early access on Patreon, because I myself have been binging the show a little bit more. Yeah, and of course, editing all the videos and stuff. I see the lighting here is changing on the spot, but yeah, from here on out, 5 episodes are up early on Patreon, so of course you can support me. Link is on top of the description. And so you'll be able to watch episode 16 until 21, I guess. Yeah, right there, right now. So, of course, Patreon is the way to support me. If you enjoy these videos, that's the way I, of course, through my Patreon supporters, I'm able to make these videos in the first place. So I would really appreciate it. And again, you get awesome stuff in return, which is early access to the episodes, as well as full-length reactions. If you want to basically watch the entire episodes with me, rather than these edited, cut-up versions that you get here on YouTube. So with that being said, I think we are ready to dive in. So this is episode 16. What should be done night before the counteroffensive, part 3.
最後にシャフトを交換したのはいつだ
6日前の掃討作戦の後です。記録通りだ。
よし次巨人を殺して罰せられることもあるんだな 変な話だけど貴重な被験体だったし。だからってなんで俺ら訓練兵の中で犯人探しなんだ。
巨人が憎くてしょうがなかったんだろうな。
でもこれじゃ巨人に手を貸したようなもんだよ。その人の復讐心は満たされたかもしれないけど、人類にとっては打撃だ。
俺はバカだからな。わかる気がする。巨人を見る前は俺本気で調査兵団になるつもりだったんだぜ。けどもう二度と見たくねえ。今日所属兵団を決めなきゃいけねえのに。
I'm like a little bit confused because what are they what were they talking about in the beginning there? Were they talking about the Titans that were killed in the experiment? Or with the experiments? Because that was in a different place, right? I mean, now we're kind of tracking the old group again, I guess. Or the, you know.
なあマルコ、もうどれがお前の骨だかわからなくなったよ。兵士になんかならなければ次は誰の番かなんて考えずに済んだのに。何十万の犠牲で得た戦術の発達を放棄しておとなしく巨人の餌になるのか。分かってんだよ、戦わなきゃいけないことくらい。でも誰もがてめえみたいな死に急ぎのバカにはなれねえ。
So he's talking about Aaron there, right?
怒らずに聞いてほしいんだけど、ジャンは強い人ではないから弱い人の気持ちがよく理解できる。それでいて
I'm kind of surprised how much of an impact that Marco guy had on him, because we never really saw that before in the other or in the previous episodes.
所属兵かは
But he really got touched by his death.
俺は決めたぞ。俺は調査兵団になる。
お前どう思った？あのジャンが調査兵団になるって言ってんだぜ。
ジャンが？別に。
お前は憲兵団だもんな。やっぱり俺もそっちにした方がいいかな。
嫌だけどさ。
I mean, I assume every character that joins the military police we wouldn't really follow anymore, for a while at least.
マジかよ。アルミン、お前まで。
Unless there's gonna be a story there as well, but...
弱いくせに根性あるからね。ありがとう。
結局無許可で立体起動装置を使った兵士は見つからなかったようだ。一体誰が。さあな。集合。支度を急げ。紹介に出るぞ。はい。おはようございます、リヴァイ兵長。いいかエレン、俺から2馬身以上遅れるなよ。てめえがうろうろできるのは俺が監視しているからってことを忘れるな。はい。
It's interesting how he's like so easily following up the orders now, though. Because in the beginning of the series, I wouldn't have really expected Aaron to be a character that follows orders from somebody else. But obviously, you know, they have the same interests, so I guess that makes it easier for him.
私は調査兵団団長エルヴィン・スミス。所属兵団を選択する本日、私が話すのは率直に言えば調査兵団への勧誘だ。今回の巨人の襲撃により諸君らはすでに巨人の恐怖も己の力の限界も知ってしまったことだろう。エレン・イエーガーの存在だ。彼が間違いなく我々の味方であることは彼の命がけの働きが証明している。彼によって巨人の侵攻を阻止するのみならず、巨人の正体にたどり着く術を獲得した。彼の成果があるシガンシナクの地下室には彼も知らない巨人の謎があるとされている。その地下室にたどり着きさえすれば、
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
この100年にわたる巨人の支配から脱却できる手がかりをつかめるだろう。
It seemed more like a bunker than a basement, actually, the way it was displayed there.
いくら兵士を集めたいからってそのことまで公にするなんて。それとも何か意図が。 団長は一体何を見ようとしているんだ。
ただそのためにはウォールマリアの奪還が必須となる。トロスト区の扉が使えなくなってしまった今、東のカナデスクから遠回りするしかなくなった。
It's kind of coming all like full circle in a way with this first season, I guess. As I assume it's gonna be kind of ending back at where it all started, you know. Seganshina, I guess it was called, right?
死亡する確率は3割といったところか。4年後にはほとんどが死ぬだろう。しかし、それを超えた者が生存率の高い優秀な兵士となっていくのだ。自分に聞いてみてくれ。人類のために心臓を捧げることができるのかを。他の兵団の志願者は解散したまえ。団長、必要以上に脅しすぎではありませんか。一人も残りませんよ。
So was that what Arma was talking about him having kind of a secret agenda or something? Which is basically like, have as little people as possible join us for some reason? Oh wow. It really is just gonna be the characters that we've known from the start, huh?
今ここから動かないとまた。
俺はもともと憲兵になるために村を追ってたんだ。母ちゃん喜ぶぞ。憲兵になったら村のみんなも俺を見直す。
I love how they did this scene. Seeing them all stand there as everybody's just walking away. So I guess it's still a few more people than the ones they just showed only. But not too many, I guess. Mikasa really standing there completely fearless while all the other ones have like clear doubts on their faces.
心より尊敬する。
俺が班長のネスだ。そして相葉のシャレット。こいつは髪の毛をむしるのが好きだから、ハゲたくないやつは気をつけろ。よろしくな。
That's why he's wearing that thing.
翌日からの訓練は長距離索敵陣。
That would be a terrifying thought for me. Can't ever imagine myself being bald.
俺たち特別作戦班はここだ。後列中央待機。随分後ろなんですね。この布陣の中で最も安全。この壁外遠征が極めて短距離なのも、お前を志願しなくに送るための試運転だからだ。お前、あの時の団長の質問の意味が分かったか？
No, I didn't.
先輩方は分かったんですか？
いや、この作戦には他の目的があるのかもしれん。だが団長はそれを兵に説明するべきではないと判断した。ならば俺たちは行って帰ってくることに終始すべきなのさ。団長を信じろ。はい。
おいミカさん、アルビー。エレン。
Like maybe that they could use the Titans in some way, but too many people are too scared of them to even bother with trying out new tactics or whatever. I don't know, maybe that's like kind of what he meant. So that's also why I only wanted really the guys there who were completely fearless, you know? Because others would be too afraid, for example, to take more Titans captive. They would just kill them or whatever, just like what happened with the Titans from Hanji. I don't know, maybe it's something like that.
まさか調査兵になったのか。
おい、新兵集まる。制服が届いたぞ。
So I guess they're all now getting the cool green capes. I'm sorry for making a comparison, but it reminds me of Fellowship of the Ring.
なあエレン、お前巨人になった時、ミカサを殺そうとしたらしいな。それは一体どういうことだ？
違う、 エレンはハエを叩こうとして。
お前には聞いてね
What the fuck is that excuse?
え。この道はかなり深い
Trying to hit a fly, yeah, right.
本当らしい。巨人になった俺はミカサを殺そうとした。
らしいってのは記憶にねえってことだな。つまりお前は巨人の力の存在を今まで知らなかったし、それを掌握する術も持ち合わせていないと。
じゃん、今ここでエレンを追い詰めることに何の意味があるの？
あのな、ミカサ、誰しもお前みたいにな、エレンのために無償で死ねるわけじゃないんだぜ。知っておくべきだ。俺たちは何のために命を使うのかを。じゃねえといざという時に迷っちまうよ。だからエレン、お前本当に頼むぞ。
団長、間もなくです。付近の巨人はあらかた遠ざけた。開門30秒前。これより人類はまた一歩前進する。お前たちの成果を見せてくれ。開門始め。進む。第57回壁外調査を開始する。前進せよ。
All right. A new dawn. So yeah, definitely once again a cool episode, and things do still seem in a build-up phase, if you know what I mean, right? We're clearly like building up to something now. Actually, I mean, maybe next episode already things could get crazier again, but again, like I enjoy kind of the intrigue there, or the questions that are being asked, and maybe like I'm not sure if I really got the whole thing about Erwin right, where of course Armin was talking like in the episode about him having this kind of own agenda or whatever, right? And then they obviously still hint or refer back to the moment that happened last episode where he was asking Eren, like, what do you think the real enemy is or something, right? I don't know if I really got it right, but it seemed to me like I was kind of linking it to something we also heard last episode where Hanji was talking about wanting, I think it was her, right? That she was talking about wanting to be more creative in finding solutions. Eren, I think, talked about, oh yeah, I'm not sure if I get it right with which characters was talking about what, but the Survey Corps was about change or whatever, right? Seeking change. And again, like, I assume this fight against the Titans is something that they've been having now for a very long time, right? And it's clear that by simply killing them, I mean, they're not going to find real answers. They're not going to be able to bring this to an end, because it's just going to keep going on for infinity, right? And so maybe that's kind of what Erwin was talking about, in how he was so selective about choosing people to come along with the Survey Corps and not being afraid to scare people off into just joining the garrison instead, where he wanted the absolute most fearless people to be there, because that's the way they can actually seek to, try different things, I guess. If that means like taking more Titans captive to perform experiments on, or maybe different creative ways of using them for entirely new purposes. Again, like, I think that's kind of what it was about, but I could be entirely wrong there. Once again, this is just merely me speculating, but, like, I enjoyed the episode. The one scene that stood out to me was, once again, where, and, it was kind of obvious, I guess, that, of course, all the characters that we've been seeing from the start are the ones that obviously joined the Survey Corps in the end. But how they were standing there and clearly having their doubts themselves, and seeing all the other people kind of walk away next to them, right? I like the episode, and all I can really say is, like, I'm looking forward to seeing where it's gonna go. I think for now that kind of like addresses it all, right? So I'm probably just gonna leave it here and dive straight into the next episode. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course, and then I look forward very much to seeing you in the next episode.